Welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is a SST Edupedia and I am Assistant Professor Namrata.R.Singh. Today we are going to learn about the consumer behavior and what are the factors which influences the behavior of the consumer. So, what is the consumer behavior? The behavior that consumers display in searching for, purchasing, using, evaluating and disposing of the product and services that they expect will satisfy their needs. In today's time, satisfaction of the customer is very must and it is the responsibility of the any business organization or marketer to satisfy the needs and wants of the customer as per their requirement. Because once consumer behavior is changed directly or indirectly, it is affected to the image and profitability of the company. So, why do consumer purchase and consume products? There are some factors which influences the consumer for buying the products and for consuming those products. So, in that, the first one is psychological influences, that is the mental capacity or psychology of the person related to that product. Then, personal influences, social influences and cultural influences. These are the basic factors which influences the buying behavior of the consumer. So, generally consumer behavior or factors influencing the consumer behavior is divided into the four parts. In that, the first one is psychological behavior. In the psychological, there are the sub parts which influences the buying behavior of the customer. That is the motivation, perception, learning and beliefs and recognition from the other person. Second is in this, that is the personal factor. In the personal factor is age and life cycle stage of the individual, occupation of the individual, economic condition of the individual customer, lifestyle of the customer, as well as personality and self-concept of the customer towards the product. Next is this, that is the social concept. In that, reference group, family, role and status of the consumer is involved. And the last is that is cultural factor. So, in the cultural factor involved, culture, subculture and social class, which is affected the buying behavior of the customer. Now, we are going to learn the factors affecting the consumer behavior in a brief. So, there are some characteristics which is affected the consumer behavior. In that, cultural factor. In the cultural factor, the first one is buyer's culture, buyer's subculture and buyer's social class. So, according to that, customer is purchasing the product. For example, during the time of the Ganpati, many people is followed their traditions. So, according to that, they purchase the product related to the devotion of their community or their culture. Buyer's subculture, again culture is divided into the subculture. As per the requirement of the subculture, consumers purchase the product. Next is in this, that is the social factor. In that reference group. It means sometimes some product is recommended by the friends, some your neighbors or some other persons. Family, many of times फैमिली की जो लाइक्स एंड डिसलाइक्स है उसे अदर फैमिली मेंबर्स भी क्या करते हैं, फॉलो करते हैं. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट ऑल्सो कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर इज अफेक्टेड. एंड देन रोल्स एंड स्टेटस ऑफ द कंज्यूमर रिलेटेड विद द प्रोडक्ट एज पर देयर इनकम, एज पर देयर परचेसिंग कैपेसिटी ऑल्सो इट इज अफेक्टेड. इन द पर्सनल फैक्टर्स एज एंड लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ द कस्टमर, occupation of the customer. In the occupation, as per the income level wise, customer goods को purchase करेगा. Then economic situation, lifestyle, personality and self concept of the customer. After that, next is in this, that is the psychological factors. In that, the first is motivation. Many of time friends, अदर पर्सन हमें मोटिवेट करते हैं, इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं उस प्रोडक्ट को परचेज करने के लिए. दैट्स व्हाई वो कंज्यूमर उस गुड को परचेज कर रहा है या फिर उस कंपनी को फॉलो कर रहा है. द परसेप्शन, related with the product. After that, learning whatever we are learn from the product or product. After using that, on that basis we are decided in the future हमें वो product purchase करना चाहिए या फिर वो products को purchase नहीं करना चाहिए. Then beliefs and attitudes towards the product. Now, what is the exactly culture? So, culture is the learned values, perception, wants and behavior from family and other important institution from where the person is learned many things. So, sometimes it is affected to the market also. Subculture. Subcultures are the group of people within a culture with shared value system based on the common life, experience and situation. Like as a Chinese, Indians, Malaya, Eurasians, these comes under the subculture. मतलब Indians में भी subcultures होंगे, means again it is divided as per the region wise, as per the state wise, as per the caste wise. So like these subculture is divided. Social class. Now what is the social class? Social class are societies relatively permanent and ordered the division whose members share the similar values, interests and behavior, which is measured by the combination of the occupation, income, education as well as with wealth and other variables. Next is come the major social classes. As per the classes wise also people is like to buy the products. Upper class, middle class, working class, lower class. See, if someone is want to buy a car, upper class priority is what? Mercedes, BMW. Same, we are coming to the middle class. Might be there is preferences for the Maruti Suzuki, Baleno, Hyundai, etc. Working class is believe in the two-wheeler if is not able to buy that vehicle, and the lower class is think for those products, but due to the income issues, due to the economic condition, they are not able to buy that product. So for the lower class, टाटा कंपनीज इंट्रोड्यूस है टाटा नैनो कि एक कॉमन बजट के अंदर वो भी क्या कर सकते हैं, अपने डिजायर्स एंड नीड्स को फुलफिल कर सकते हैं. Next is come social factors. In the social factors, the first one is come the group. Now, what is the group? Group means membership have a direct influences on the life of the person or to which a person belongs. In that, aspirational groups is also involved in which an individual wishes to belong. And next is come in this reference group. So, reference groups are groups that form a comparison for references informing attitudes or behavior of the consumer. Social factor. Again, in that second is come group. So, opinion leaders are the people within a reference group with a special skills, knowledge, personality and other characteristics that can exert social influence on others. Like is the buzz marketing, enlist the opinion leaders to spread the word. Social networking is the new form of the buzz marketing, that is myspace.com, facebook.com. These are the websites where companies promote their product, and many of time consumer is influenced from these website also. Next is coming these social factors. So, in the social factors, the first one is come a family. So, family is the most important consumer buying organization in a society. Sometimes social roles and status of the group also affected the buying behavior of the consumer, such as families, clubs and organization is organization to which a person is belong that can define the role and social status of the people. Next is come in this personal factor. In the personal factors involved the personal characteristics, age and life cycle stage of the person, occupation of the person, economic situation of the person, lifestyle of the person, and personality and self-concept of the person. Now, age and life cycle stage. In this involved, Royal Bank of Canada has identified the 5 stage segments. The first one is from youngster. Those are younger than 18 years. Then they are getting started, divided the group into 18 to 35 years. After that, builders, that is 35 to 50 years. After that, accumulators, age 50 to 60 years. And the next age is come, that is the preservers, that is over 60 years. So as per the age, people is like to buy the product, and sometimes it affected to the buying behavior of the consumer. Occupation. Occupation affects the goods and services bought by the consumers, because on the basis of the occupation, income of the consumer is fixed. मीन्स जितनी उसकी इनकम है, जो उसका ऑक्यूपेशन है, एज पर द ऑक्यूपेशन में उसका जो लेवल है, ऑन दैट बेसिस उनकी इनकम होगी, एंड ओनली ऑन दैट बेसिस दे आर एबल टू बाय दोज प्रोडक्ट. सो इन दिस economic situation is also includes such as the personal income is come, saving, and interest rates are involved. Then lifestyle. Lifestyle is a person's pattern of living expressed in his or her psychographics. So measure of the consumer is AIO, that is activities, interest, and opinions related to the products, related to the marketer, as well as for the organization, to capture the information about a person's patterns of acting and interacting in the environment. So in this come personal factors, primary motivation. In the primary motivation system, the ideal, achievement, and self-expression of the person. Thank you.